What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. I got another video with cards with forgotten effects, hidden effects, whatever you want to call them here. I was kind of going back and forth between a couple of decisions, and I finally landed on the three cards that I want to talk about. It's especially with the last two. Those ones are really perfect examples of cards with hidden effects that I like going over. So let's just, like I said, let's go into it. If you like what we do here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it's all cool. Still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, trying to climb the ladder. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get into the cards. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get things started by talking about Cyber Angel Ben 10. I'm going to go and read off the full effect, and then we'll get into the discussion. So, you can ritual summon this card with Machine Angel Ritual. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original defense in the graveyard. If this card is tributed, you can add one light fairy type monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so the main thing about this card is you're using it as cost, and you're getting a light fairy type monster to replace it. Is extremely broken when you use it with Heralds. It's good in Drytron. It is good in a lot of different decks that essentially kind of like I guess what it does is it inherently kind of gets rid of one of the downsides of ritual summoning, is that you lose a lot of cards, like when you do it. So this kind of gives you a lot of recursion. So a lot of people really don't realize that, this thing has a whole basically what's like that like the Elemental Hero Flame Wingman, to where if it destroys a monster, it can inflict its attack as as damage. This one will inflict its defense instead of its attack. But it's really interesting to see these kind of effects on cards, because you really wouldn't expect this to have any kind of extra you really wouldn't expect any kind of extra effect. But at the same time, you also got to realize that a lot of these cards, they are in their own archetypes. Okay, so the next card we're talking about is Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion was a card that I had put on a list a while ago, and then I forgot about it, and then I was going through some papers and I saw a list of cards with, oh, is this a list? And then I did them all except for Brilliant Fusion, so I decided to put it on this one. But this is a really good one to add, so let's go ahead and read the effect. When this card is activated, fusion summon one Gem Knight fusion monster from your X deck using monster from your deck as fusion material, but change the attack / defense to 0. If this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. Once per turn, you can discard one spell. The monster special summoned by this card's effect gains attack and defense equal to its original attack and defense until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only activate one Brilliant Fusion per turn. So, Brilliant Fusion, everyone knows what this is used for. It was used to summon out the Gem Knight Seraphonite by sending some type of light monster. Then you would send the Gem Knight Garnet to the graveyard, and depending on the kind of deck you're running, that would be the different monster you were sending. And Seraphonite would give you an additional normal summon. So essentially, it would put two monsters in the graveyard, and then it would give you an additional not only a monster on board, but an additional normal summon. And back when this card was used, it was so powerful. It was extremely powerful to get this off. So, but just like all the other cards, it was simply used for that purpose alone. Seraphonite was usually used as some type of combo, used as fodder for something else, or you overlay it, or maybe you synchroed with it, or you just got rid of it through the combo. But it didn't really dawn on me and that this card had a hidden effect, like I said, until I saw it on that list, and I was like, oh wow, I thought about it a long time ago, but this card's effect is just out there. Well, no, it isn't as out there, it just lets you discard a spell to have the monster that's summoned as if it gain all its attack. But because of how it was used, I think maybe in a Gem Knight deck, people use it. So maybe there's a couple Gem Knight players out there who might be like, oh no, I use this effect all the time. But in all honesty, this what this one caught me off guard. I was just like, oh wow, wow, it does have this effect. That's actually kind of crazy. So yeah, so like just remember that like Brilliant Fusion, you could actually give the monster that you summon with it, you could give it the attack if you're willing to discard a spell. Alright, so let's move on to the last card that we're talking about, and that's going to be Gear Town. Gear Town was actually a last minute induction because I was going to go, there was two other cards that I had picked out. One of them, like one of them, I was kind of going back and forth with it, and I decided that, this is really, it's not that really hidden or forgotten. It's just that people, would use the first effect, but the second effect did sometimes have uses. So maybe I might add that in like a combination with another one. And then another card that I wanted to, when I read the effect, because like someone told me I had it, so I just wrote it down. But then when I read the effect, it was mostly like it just had this condition that really never gets used because this. I'm still debating whether I should put it on the list or not, because this card is used as just a combo piece, and people don't think about that second part of its effect, but it's not really an effect, it's more of a condition. But Gear Town, this card right here, very much is a perfect type of card that I wanted to add to a list like this. So let's go to read the effect of Gear Town. Both players can normal summon ancient gear monsters for one less tribute. When this card is a short distance to the graveyard, you can special summon one ancient gear monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So a lot of people simply know Gear Town for its for its second effect, to special summon one ancient gear monster from your from your deck or graveyard. That's actually a really good effect, especially in earlier Yu-Gi-Oh, to where you had stuff like I forgot the name. I think it's like Ancient Gear Soldier. I forgot which one, but it was like a 4. I think the 4000 one that can't that can't be affected by spell and trap cards, and there's also one that can't be affected by spell and trap cards, like when you attack. There's also the Gadgetron. Yeah, see, these are like older cards that I'm really kind of trying to remember, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, wow, this is kind of like bringing back some memories. But a part of something in me clicked, and I was like, let me just look up Gear Town, and I was reading it, and I was like, wow, look at this. So this first part, to where both players can normal summon an ancient gear monster from one tribute, that is not gonna come up very often, but like maybe maybe gears become meta again, or maybe people would use this as like a counter. But honestly, a lot of times they would essentially kind of bring out they bring out the Gear Town, then they would destroy it or set something over it to go to trigger the effect. So really, it would never really be on the field for long enough for people to not only remember but to actually use its first effect. It is literally only known for special summoning an ancient gear monster from your deck or graveyard. So that's why I chose this as the last card, because I think this is one of the better, more perfect examples of cards with forgotten effects. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.